Hello and welcome, I'm Misstical, this is Misstical Gaming and this is not Watch Your Realms. This is instead the website I've sort of done on it. It's a bit, right, let's get a couple of things straight. Firstly, I have no formal training in web design at all. Never have I done a course on it or been educated in it. I do have DuckDuckGo, I do have YouTube and I do have chat. So that's essentially my qualifications on building a website, so I'll apologise to all the people who do it professionally and how bad this looks. So let's get that out of the way to start with. So firstly, a couple of things. A link to the website will be in the description below. Help yourself and jump on and have a look if you think it'd be useful for you. No one's forcing you to use it, so don't worry too much. Right, so as I scroll down, then there's a list of things that I do want to do and changes I will be making. So the buffs need sorting out. I'm aware they're not fully brilliant yet, so we'll have a look at those as we go through. Right, games. I've only got the one game up there at the moment, and that's Watch Your Realms. Whether the future changes and there are other games that go on, who knows the future, so we never know. So that's up there because there might be other games later on. Discord, I've opened up a Discord, and if you want to go over there, help yourself. I'll show it at the end. It is empty at the moment. It's completely naked Discord. There's me and another version of me on there because I wanted to make sure the invite thing worked. So that's about it at the moment. So you will be able to go on there and share things or likes and dislikes, that sort of stuff. Right, so if you go into Watch Your Realms, then it is a nice, clean, naked-ish page. So we've got the header and then we've got the search bar and you can search for stuff in there. Right, the header. I haven't put all the stuff in here, so I know Gear Dungeons and Immortal Codex and that sort of stuff needs to go in there. It's just sort of a place card holder at the moment, but you can quickly refer to any one of these, and it's just got the stages down there with some videos attached to it and watch the videos. I think I'm probably going to change this to be stage 18, then a list of the heroes that we use to do that stage, then a link to the video. And then that way, when you're searching for a hero, you're searching for a team, you can say I've got these champions, then you can just quickly as a user just go, well actually I've got this team, boom, I'm going in there to use that one. That's the video I'm going to watch. So that I think is the way ahead for it. At the moment it's just a list of the videos I've done, not strictly true, mostly I've done, and then that's the same for Gear Raid 2 again, but I will probably strip this down to show who's using and who's not on it. And then there's Gear Raid 3 as well. Like I said, it's pretty much all me with the exception of Ivy League Gaming. I saw this video the other day, or I saw this come up the other day and thought, actually I just want to see if I can link to other people, and this was an early game one. I thought, well, I'll do that as well. I'll link to it anyway. So there we go. Just click the link and we're off, and we can get onto Ivy League's website, or at least Ivy League's video, and there she is up there. So you can see her video if you want to go and use it. So that's essentially how the web page itself works, or at least the raid style of functions on it. And then over on the right hand side there's the in-game stuff. So dev insight, I will try and keep this up to date and I'll try and translate it as well. Google Translate, so apologies for any errors that are in there, and it'll just be a quick run through of what they've done. The advantages is this also works in the search bar as well, so if you're searching for stuff you may see dev insights come up and you can have a look at what they've done or what they're talking about within it. Updates is just a quick shot of what they've got in the updates. I might change this to actually be from the Forerunner accounts. You can have a look at what's coming and ways to set that sort of thing up, but probably the less we say about updates at the moment the better. Shard summoning, we'll keep a track of the latest shard summoning. This is just a shard summoning calendar. Again, we'll probably try and add some more information as I get more time, but be aware, no formal training, one-man band. There is not a team doing this. There's an I in this team, it's just me, okay? Right, and then events is blank at the moment. I was just thinking if for future things like the anniversary event, that sort of thing, or major pushes, then we'll put some stuff down in there, what's worth getting at the shop, what isn't, that sort of thing. Right, and that brings us over to buffs and debuffs. Right, so I've already mentioned that the buffs do actually need changing and swapping around. So essentially what we've got at the moment is a list of all the buffs, the heroes that do them, and links to most some of the heroes. As we get later on, the links are there, but so earlier on the links very much aren't there, so that does need sorting out, and that's in the process of being done at the moment. So that's where it is at the moment. You can sort of search for them and see who's got them, but the idea is it will end up looking like the debuffs page. Right, let's get me out of the way to start with. There we go. It'll end up looking much more like this as a debuff page. In fact, get right out of the way. So this is pretty much, I think it's in alphabetical order. Please don't go and check, please, because it may not be. But that's essentially a shortcut to all the debuffs. Then you've got the debuff, a quick description next to the debuff about what it does, unable to recover HP for anti-healing, and then you've got the times that people put it on. Now, the times are just there for the anti-healing. So, for example, and they're also there for the basic version. If you put skill crystals into someone and up that timing, then it can be increased, but that's sort of the minimum you can expect from there. So there are some caveats to be aware of. So for example, let's go over and have a look at a page. Denny, for example, does a 2-second anti-heal. Right? However, she does it on her ultimate, and her ultimate lasts for 15 seconds. So every time she does a hit, she's hitting those enemies and she's putting the anti-heal on them for 2 seconds, but how many hits does she get within that 15-second window? So just be aware of that when you're searching for stuff, and to make sure that it comes out right for you. Whereas if I search for Lasser and bring him up, then his anti-heal goes on for 10 seconds. You can get it up to 15 when you get to level 3 of his ultimate. So if you've got skill crystals in there, or you're lucky with his dust, that will increase. So that is the basic of the level that you're actually going to get. Now, I haven't done anything with regards to tier lists. This was, I'm not happy with. I just. Tier lists sort of bug me, because if you collected everyone who's good in Gear A3, for example, you could end up with a lot of people who can't go on the right hand side, which would create an issue for you. So there are issues with tier lists, and I don't really know how to do it. It's sort of a placeholder there, something I do want to try and conquer at some point, but I don't think this is the right way around it, just to put Gear A3 and then put like Lasser's, I don't know, 2 out of 10 for Gear A3, probably less than that to be honest, without some caveat in there. Or whether I attach it to the Gear A3 when you look through for stuff, maybe sort of have a tier list there of the heroes and who's good in what positions to sort of break the map up. Maybe that's a way ahead. But if you've got a better idea than anything that I'm babbling on about, feel free to get in touch with me either via email on the website, or just come onto the Discord and have a chat with me there about it. Really happy to have your input. Right, so there's a champion there. Then at the bottom there, I really like this functionality. I used to use Yumi Love a lot. Really like Yumi Love. But I can't see them doing anything with Watcher of Realms at the moment, which was annoying. So we've done a couple of champions and then they sort of phased off doing it, and there hasn't been really an update on it. So I went ahead and done this. Whether they've re-updated it or not, I don't know. I haven't checked back to Illumina for a while now. So that's where this has come from. But I did like the functionality of writing a comment where people could say, oh, this champion's really good in this area, this is what I'm using them for, or people are asking questions. I really like that ability to be able to use there. So that is there for your input. Feel free to crack on and use it. And yeah, there we go. So that's the sort of debuffs done. You don't have to scroll down. You can scroll down and do the debuffs, or you can just come up here and select, for example, select stun, and then it will take you straight to the stun. Now, stunned, unable to take action, right? Happy with that. Now, there are a couple of things when you look at heroes that I've put in. So, stun inflicted. So, Ayin has an ability if they're inflicted with. We're going to have a look at him. Right, let's go and have a look. Right, so here we go. Enemies inflicted with stun. So he can do a launch of pursuit on one enemy, dealing 140%. The chance triggered by pursuit increases by 50% when attacking enemies inflicted by stun. So that's what this means. If they're inflicted with it, with that debuff, then these champions do something. So bear that in mind. He doesn't do the stun, that's why there's a little title there, inflicted. And then it's broken down into times that they put the stun on for. So as you scroll down, you can see the times going up, all the way up to Lena, who's got 10 seconds, but that's done on herself. And if you have her A1 done, then she doesn't do it to herself again. But I mean, you understand, that's essentially how it is. Now also, it's listed there as Esme A1, so it's on her A1 you get the stun, okay? A3 for Lucius, that sort of thing, so you're aware of where the stun actually is if it's not on part of their normal kit. So if you have to have an awakening done on them, that's done there. Also, there are some characters who have got BS done there, so it is done on their bond skill. BS doesn't stand for anything else, it's bond skill. Okay, remember that. Right, so that's essentially how the debuffs page works and how the buffs page will look. So the buffs page is quite awful at the moment. That's how it looks at the moment, but I'm going to start off with, or I've already started off in the background, I'm just doing the bigger buffs at the moment. So those people who have the champions that have the most of that buff. So I mean, attack, healing, damage increase, more champions use that sort of thing. Inspiration not done by many, so that sort of thing. And that's how that's going to work out for us. So that's pretty much it. With the search function. A couple of things you can say. So if you search for stun, for example, then what we would get a list of people who can do stun, and there's sort of 4 pages of it, and it's also in the dev insights as well. So you'll get a load of stuff. Now I might have to sort out who and where and that sort of stuff, but if, for example, I search a champion, I'm going to search Lasso. If I search for him, I can get his page there, which we've already gone on and we've seen his page. We get him in the debuffs as well, but he's also mentioned in the dev insights. So you can go to the dev insights and look to see what's happening with him. It's essentially, I think, something to do with the Void Rift as well. So the boss in there. So not really him, but that's how that works. Now, a couple of things to bear in mind about the searching. The search can be a little bit weird and a little bit odd. So let's go over a couple of things. Right, so if I search for physical damage reduction, I get a list of over 5 pages of heroes. They're all linked, you can just link straight to them. But this isn't strictly true. What it's actually searching for is anyone who's got P damage, so anyone with physical damage, and anyone who does a reduction. So make sure that if you're searching for something like that, you put the little over them, and then when you research, your page gets stripped right down. Now it's shorter than it should be, and this will be fixed by the end of the week. I'll go into why this is an error at the moment. Now if you go into Garm, for example, and we can go and have a look at him, we can see him up there, and he has the buff there, physical damage reduction. Happy days, brilliant, he does that as expected. Whereas if we go into, if you got him at the weekend, congratulations to you, absolutely well done. If you go in here, you'll notice he doesn't have it. What he does have is on his skills there, he does have physical damage reduction, and that's what it's picking up. So just be aware there that doesn't always get what you want. And what I mean by an error here is if I search for this, because I put it in twice, you'll find there's a lot more heroes with physical damage reduction as well, that way round. So that's a small error, and I will fix that as well. So make sure that you use the little bracket thing, the little quote marks, to make sure you're searching what you want. However, it can do other things as well. So we're going to search fighter, and we also want a fighter who does magic as well. So we want a fighter who does magic damage, put the little plus sign in, and we can search for both. And now we just get a list of fighters who do magic damage. So that's something for you to be aware of as well. You can actually cross-reference your searches, so make sure that you're aware of what you're searching for. It can make life a lot easier for you. Now the other thing to bear in mind is we can add in anything you want realistically. So if you want to search, for example, or if you have a list, I don't think you can. If you searched for airborne, you'd get lots of reference who does airborne stuff. But if you wanted to, if you had a list of fighters, for example, that could hit airborne units, then by all means, if you send that to me, I will quite happily go in the background and change it to whatever you like. So, and then probably either on the website or maybe on the Discord, I will run somewhere where we can do searches and you can come up with your own search pattern and what it should kick out. So for example, if you wanted fighters that hit airborne targets and you said here's a list of them, and you can deem that search anything you like. So if you call it SAMs for surface to air missiles, or you call it GTA ground to air, whatever you like. So just if you give me a list of the champions you want and why they're the search that you want to search to them against and what it's for, I will quite happily go in the background and square that away for you. That's not an issue. I think it's probably a good way ahead. Also, other things I'm thinking of is fighters with range as well. That might be a useful little search for people. So whether I do, I don't know, fighter plus range, or whether I do fighter plus 1 plus 2 and then have the number of steps they can actually, or tiles they can actually hit out for. Maybe that's another functionality. Have a think on it. If you want something like that, just give us a list of who it is and what. If you just give me a list of this is what I want, you want me to go and do the work, that will go to back of the queue somewhere and I will get around to it at some point. It will get done. It will take a lot longer. If you've got a list that you already want, I will just check it and then we will put that straight in for you. So that will become a lot easier for you. Okay, so that is it really. That's where we are with it at the moment. If you find it useful or this sort of thing's good for you, happy days, pop along. And then there is the Discord as well. So there you go, there's a completely naked Discord. Come along, say hello, and then down on the side over here there is some stuff about the web page, the website general chat. If you've noticed any errors, because there might be some errors, I don't know. And then if you've got any search requests or things you want, pop them in there. Happy to have you along, happy with the chat. I mean, I wanted to search for stuff and there wasn't an ability to do it. It annoyed me, so I made my own. That's essentially what I've done. If it's useful for you, brilliant. If it's not, don't worry about it. No one's forcing you to use it. If there's other content creators out there that want their videos on like gear raids or that sort of thing, give me a list of the champions you're using, a shortcut to your video, and I will chuck that up there as well. But do remember, one-man team. Okay, there's only me. There's not a team of people. I've got no formal training in this whatsoever. All I've got, DuckDuckGo, why wouldn't you use that as a search engine? And then I've got chat and YouTube. That's it. Okay, that is all my knowledge. All right, but I just got upset that they couldn't search for anything, so I made it myself. Right, so that's me done. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got this far, I deserve a thumbs up. Thank you very much for that. Hit the subscribe button, come along. We'll probably do more of these videos. It's how I've been doing videos, reference debuffs and that sort of thing. I've done a couple. That's how I've done it. I might also add a bit in there about gear sets as well. There were some people interested and enjoyed the Infernal Raw set, so we might do some more of that as well. I've got a bit more work to do on this. I want to get the buffs out of the way, then I think it would be a little bit easier to look after. And then we'll start motoring forward with gear sets and that sort of stuff. Anyway, that's me done. I'm just babbling now. So thank you very much for your time. I'll see you all in the video again soon. Happy gaming. Tra.